What's up, everyone? Alright, so I put out the train along and I told you I would film like the first warm-up from the squat things. I'm going to put this later on Instagram. All future ones, if I film them, will go on YouTube. I have YouTube, you got to find that. Maybe I'll post it in my stories so you can link to it. And I'm probably going to create an exercise index on there so you know some of these warm-ups are real easy to find and reference when they're written in there for the train along. Now, I'm doing this pre-workout, so I'm not sweaty yet, but I am caffeinated. Deal with it. What we're going to go over is how I like to do rolling plank, hip drop, hip airplane, and squat to overhead reach. That's my warm-up. It covers my protocol, which I've talked about in previous videos, which is mobility, stability, and activation. Pretty similar. We want to make sure we're mobile enough for the movement, we want to make sure we're stable enough, and activate anything that needs to be activated within the movement. That's how I function my own warm-ups. If your warm-ups are longer than 10 minutes, that's your workout. It's not your warm-up. If you're on the floor for 30 minutes doing mobility, you fucked up. All right, so let's get to this quickly. So, rolling plank. This is part of the McGill protocol. So, this is a plank. You want to make sure you're not like this. You're not sagging down here. Hold firm to that plank. You're going to rotate and pause at the top. So I'm pulling my elbow up. I'm rotating my torso while keeping those hips nice and stable and locked and still to this position and back down. It is written as 1:20. So that's our rolling plank. That's the version I want to see. So hold firm here. Rebrace. Rotate with that brace. That's how I like it. I'm keeping my glutes clenched, my quads clenched, my core nice and tight. That is our rolling plank coming through. Hip drop. Normally, like an aerobic step or a 45-pound bumper plate is good. I use my stairs sometimes, it's a little bit higher, but right now I have it set up on a small bumper plate. I've got like an Airx style pad from Amazon. It's going to make it even more challenging and nice and squishy, so it's going to get some activation in the bottom of my foot, which is great for squats. So the hip drop is basically just a heel tap. We're bringing the heel down to the floor by hinging the hip back and bending the knee, which is how we start our squat pattern. So we're teaching that balance stability. Let me turn this side so you can kind of see that. So if you struggle with stability here, put your arms out like a Pallof press and just allow your hip to go back until the heel touches and then back up. Hip back till the heel touches and back up. Okay? Now you can see a nice discrepancy in my left and right because this is the side that I have the torn adductor on. This one's really challenging for me even though it's only like a 3-inch strap. So as I come back, it's really hard for me to stabilize and I can feel that coming across the knee. So this is a monumental exercise for me to warm up with to get that adductor firing before I squat. So that is our hip drop. Now, hip airplane is next. A little key here for some people if they can't do it properly, because we're going to go from hip internal rotation to hip external rotation, is they can hold on. So internal rotation is turning into that hip basically this way, holding and pausing, and then rotating all the way out, right? And pausing. If you can't do that without, hold on to something. If you can, point your thumbs back like you're making a T. That's going to lock your upper back in place. So then you can come down and rotate into that hip and hold. You see my foot struggling. Rotate out. Rotate in. Hold. Rotate out. 10 of those, your adductor and your glutes are going to be burning nicely to get to that squat bar. That's all it takes. So again, if you struggle, you can hold on with that opposite side. Come on in, hold on. Turn out. But obviously we want to progress. Even our warm-ups want to progress to where we're able to do it freestanding. So turn the whole torso in, turn the whole torso out, and that comes from the hip, which actually just adjusted, which is wonderful. Last, squat to overhead reach. Love this one because it's our position. So we're going to squat down, lay head to the floor. We can use our elbows if we want, push those knees out. You're going to get thoracic extension, reach up to the sky. Now I was practicing this before I went on the camera. My whole back adjusted, it's wonderful. So reach all the way up, hold, rebrace, thoracic extension, reach all the way up, hold, and back. Going through this sequence of just these 4 little movements, and I have this for 1 set, this for 2 sets, this for 2 sets, this for 2 sets, it's going to take me less than 10 minutes. And I've covered mobility, stability, activation. I am ready to squat. Got it? Cool.